Good morning. Good morning, Sister Shona. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. Good morning, sister. How are you?
Good morning. Hello, Arushka.
Hi.
Okay, great. So let's go. What have
Okay,
we
so
got to
today's pose is Anjaneya Asana or a Crescent moon low lunge. So, Arishka, let's get into it. Let's start at the top of the mat in Tadasana. Take the right leg back, straight back. That's it. At a slight angle. That's it. Toes facing forward. Knees and ankles in alignment. Now sweep the hands up into the air. That's it. Palms together. And a slight back bend. That's it, looking up. So we're gonna hold for a count of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And gently release and come up to stand. So we're gonna do the other side now. You're gonna take the left leg back. Straight back. Low lunge. Sweep the hands into the air. Gentle back bend. And we're gonna hold for a count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And gently release. Come up to the top of your mat, and we're gonna do the classical version of it now. So the classical version, Arishka, you're gonna take the right foot back, but the tops of your feet are gonna be down, your toes are gonna be facing away from the body, and your knee is gonna touch the ground. That's it. The front knee at 90 degrees. Sweep the hands up into the air. And a slight back bend, hands in prayer position. There we go. And gently release, come out straight. Stand up, that's it. Now we're gonna take the left leg back. You're gonna come into that lunge, that's it. Adjust yourself, feet facing away from the body. Sweeping the hands up into the air. Slight bend, back bend, looking up. Hands in a prayer position. Keeping as still as you can in the pose and breathing as naturally as you possibly can. Very gently release the hands, frame the front foot, come up, and that is Anjaneya Asana. So we did 2 variations because some of us do not have the flexibility to go into the classical pose. So we do it in stages. So as our body gets more flexible, the ankle gets flexible, we can go back. So why Anjaneya Asana? Firstly, Anjani is the mother of Lord Hanuman in the epic the Ramayana. And Lord Hanuman, for those of you that's not familiar with the Ramayana and Lord Hanuman, he's this awesome, courageous, powerful, strong deity in the Ramayana, who is also humble and also a servant to Lord Ram. So some say that Anjaneya Asana is named after him in a sense. It's because of him, because of the power and the strength that this pose brings when you are doing it correctly. The other version makes a little more sense to me, where it says that Anjaneya or Anjani was a yogini. So she did this tapas. Tapas means meditation, basically. And in this meditation, she managed to overcome her senses, her body, and her mind. So because of the power of her practice, this pose was named after her. So this is not a classical pose. This is a pose that was introduced in the 17th to 20th century by Guru B.K.S. Iyengar in one of his sequences. So is not one of those poses that you would see in the original set of poses that was brought on by Patanjali. It's an awesome, awesome hip opener and a heart opener. So why balance? When you're getting into the pose and you're a beginner, you're a little bit unsteady in the pose. So it requires, once again, the core strength to keep you stable in the pose. Also, because it's a hip opener and a heart opener, it also stretches the throat. It is said to balance the emotions. So being a hip opener, it activates the 3 lower chakras, which is the root chakra at the base of your spine, the sacral chakra around your navel area, and the solar plexus, which is around the stomach area. And these 3 chakras are said to be the chakras that store your emotions, your negative emotions. So when you're doing this hip opener and this heart opener, you're actually stimulating those chakras to release those negative emotions. It also stretches the throat, so the throat chakra is also stretched. So that is for communication. So you can easily communicate your emotions. So that is Anjani Asana for you. So the benefits of it is immense because it stretches the entire body. It works your upper body and your lower body at the same time. But there's also contraindications for that. So if you do not have a strong core and if you are advanced in age and you're not as fit and strong and healthy, then I would definitely say do not attempt this pose because you could injure yourself. Also, if you have problems with your lower back or herniated discs, slip discs, anything, any spinal issues, definitely not. Any discomfort in the neck, definitely not. Ankles, do not attempt it. Maybe arthritis in the hip area, definitely don't attempt it. So this pose is quite an intense pose. So that is Anjani Asana. So I think Sister Usha is not here.
I'm here. Thank you. So I also attempted it. I didn't keep it for 8 seconds, but I did keep it. So I'm a bit happy that I can do it. I like the second one better than the first one.
Okay.
But when I was listening to you saying that it's a strenuous pose, I was just thinking that, in life, because to actually get into it wasn't so difficult. So for example, in life, I mean, I could have this pair of glasses, which I extend my hand out and I can hand it to you. It is light. It is really not something that's causing me any strain. But if the person on the other side is not quite taking it from me, and I'm standing there and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. And after 10 minutes, this very light thing can actually be making my hand sag. And actually, I thought that that's really, for me, what the balance is all about, is that it's not really where you kind of have to get in, because we're not asking the body to do anything crazy. It all seems within the stretching line, but it's holding it and being balanced, not wobbling, which I thought was actually where the trick came in. So in life, the idea to be able to do the simple things without losing out the small little things, and making sure that everything is done. Because, like if you think about even cooking a meal, you can put everything inside and omit the salt or put too much of it in. So when the balance is not maintained and you go into any extremities, you actually can't get the right outcome. And so just listening to you, I was kind of making some deductions from a different level of spirituality. But I like how you use Anjani, the mother of Hanuman's ability to actually keep that kind of pose that actually ends up making her someone who is a strong someone. So, it can also connect to our whole idea of being resilient. That no matter what comes our way, we stand steadfast. We don't let somebody else shake us down. And here, a very beautiful little, I don't know whether you call it a proverb or whatever it says, but the boat of truth will rock or it will shake, but it will not sink. And these are kind of things that are coming into my mind as I'm just reflecting on this idea that balance is a very important thing in our lives. Um, Anything in extreme, either way, will actually create for ourselves instability. And the very thing that could be useful can actually harm us. So if I'm not mindful when I'm stretching and I overstretch, I can hurt myself. And so I was just thinking about those things. But yeah, so in today, as we reflect on the word balance or the quality of balance, the attention I maintain to be accurate, precise, on cue is the art of balance. This art of being balanced gives me stability, enables me to be supportive, and builds my inner resilience. And I think when it comes to somebody who is very steady on their feet, very balanced, it is such a one that can actually lend a hand to somebody else. So looking at it in that way that, if I want to even play the role of being supportive, it means that I need to make sure that my life is in a way balanced. It has everything, all ingredients. So there is no shortcomings that will actually create a loophole for any loss or damage. So yeah, I don't know about yourself, Shalona, but what was your thoughts in terms of the quality of balance?
Well, I agree 100% with you. We have to have the balance in life, be it our thought processes, be it the way we carry out ourselves in life. You cannot have too much of anything. There has to be a balance. Even when take children in school, for instance, they can't just be studying, studying, studying. They need to get out there. They need to distract themselves for a while before they can go back to studying. They need to have that balance, maybe go do some physical activity or something, but not just focus on just one thing at a time. So yes, balance in all aspects of life is very important.
And when we think about the idea of, like a normal scale, which we call a balance as well, the idea is that if it's really in the middle, in the head center, that's what we call precision, isn't it? To be very precise. And without actually creating tension, but the attention to be precise does give you a very nice outcome. When something is, even if you're mounting something and you keep it in the center, not tilting on other side, when you look at it, it doesn't actually create any kind of disturbance. I know for me, I don't know if I'm a little bit overboard, but it's like, it's definitely something that my attention will go to when something looks a little bit off-centered or something like that. And so it's beautiful for us to be seeing that in our lives as well, that when we keep a certain amount of attention to keeping things in the right balance and making it precise, be on track, that can actually be a very powerful tool in achieving the results that we want to. We don't have to work hard. And I always think about it when you're doing things, physical tasks as well. If you don't have the knife even in the right angle, sometimes it's just so hard to use it. So it's like it sounds like, oh gosh, why are we being so finicky? But it's not about being finicky. It's about creating a harmony, like being in sync. When you're in sync, then you flow with the wave, then you're not fighting against the wave. Because obviously, when we look at the way life is, that no two persons are the same. And yet we can really strike a chord with the person, and then two opposite poles can actually be like two peas in the same pod. But it's not because they're the same, it's because they were able to strike that meeting point, and that from that meeting point each is able to contribute what they can contribute, and you can make the most amazing thing work. So I like that kind of idea as well, that this idea of like hitting the nail on the head will allow you to go right through and make it less work for yourself. And with nails as well, if you put them in crooked, you'll be sitting and knocking and knocking and breaking and bending. But if you put it in nicely and you give it a nice knock in the middle of the head, done deal. It can happen in two ticks. So with life, the way we can deal with it, especially with Raj Yoga, the idea is that it's about a mastery, that I don't operate in that situation being coming from a disadvantage point. I need to be the king in my dimension at every point. And who is really a king? The one who's acting from a position, or who has taken the position that I have. Everything is understood, everything is within my control, and I'll work from a point of not being at a disadvantage. I'm stable, I'm secure, I'm feeling safe. So these are all the internal positions, the mental positions that we can hold. And then when we work from that space, what we output is actually always easy. So balance for me is not creating strain, but it's actually allowing me to actually do it with ease. Okay.
That's lovely.
All right. So shall we go into our meditation?
Definitely.
So I invite you to become relaxed and just take a moment, a deep breath in. And as I completely fill my lungs and allow all the air passages to be filled, I feel myself inflating, chest becoming open, stomach expanded, and I feel myself full. And then I exhale, allowing there to be a powerful exchange of everything that is inside to come out. And then I breathe in, taking in that fresh, pure, clean air. And I fill myself. I breathe in and then breathe out. And for the last time, I take a deep breath in, filling myself all that is new and fresh, full of opportunity, and I breathe out. In the simple moment of exchanging of energies, removing that which is the old and bringing in that which is fresh and new. And with my thoughts, I choose to do the same thing. I go in and search to see if there are old niggling thoughts, something that I am worrying about, something that's making me anxious. And as I give attention to those, I inflate it and then I release it. I inflate those areas of concern, putting the eye of awareness onto it. And as I extend light, and as I release it, yes, the potential to fly. And by doing this, I'm giving myself time to search within the recesses of my being, to see what I'm holding on to, what is keeping me back. What are the subtle springs that holds me down? And sometimes it could just be that I forget my real self and I get caught up in the limited identity of being a body connected to my nationality, my age. So I bring this awareness to myself to accurately understand that this physical body is just my costume, and I am that pure, tiny being of light energy. I sit in this body, in the center of the forehead. I am light. I am eternal. I am energy. I am immortal. And being aware of the nature of I, living soul, I'm able to release myself from that which I have acquired through my interaction with others, by being impressed by others. I leave behind those ideas and feelings that have down. And now, with the lightness of my attitude, I raise myself above. I am light and easy. I become aware of all my responsibilities and my duties, and I take each task one at a time. And to the extent that I pay attention, I'm able to grow new seeds within myself. I have the potential to allow new understanding, new perceptions to set in. And I choose to look at myself beyond the limited identity of the body. And I see myself as a pure living being, so peaceful, so powerful. I choose to stay balanced in my true self, uninfluenced by what others say. I stay true to my understanding of who I am. And with that clarity, I am able to be strong, be stable, and become a pillar of support for others. Being true makes me balanced. So today I keep this beautiful image of my real self with accuracy, I keep my attention on being that point of consciousness, a peaceful being, knowing that I am a soul, I am peace, and I allow that peace to flow through me. Om Shanti. Have a beautiful day and enjoy that practice of being stable in your true self, having the balance and strength to support others, but to stay stable and strong in all that which is